The massive glass windows of Nexus Station revealed the swirling purple gases of the Orion Nebula. Beautiful, but Ambassador William Carter couldn't enjoy the view. His head hurt from 3 days of non-stop talks. This was the 5th round of negotiations, and Carter was tired of the games. Carter rubbed his eyes and looked around the circular room. 12 alien representatives sat at the ring-shaped table. Some had tentacles, others had too many eyes. A few didn't even have bodies. Humans would recognize. But they all shared one thing. They thought humans were beneath them. The council has stood for 8,000 years, gurgled Ambassador Zektal, a tall, thin alien with blue scales and a neck frill that expanded when he got angry. His frill was fully extended now. Humans have been in space for less than 200. You must earn your place. Susan Bradley, Carter's deputy, tapped notes on her tablet. A former Navy captain with short red hair and a no-nonsense attitude, she had warned Carter that the aliens were stalling. The council didn't want Earth as an equal partner. They wanted Earth as a servant. Earn our place, Carter said, his voice calm despite the anger building inside him. Let's talk about earning places. He stood up and walked to the center of the chamber. The holographic display lit up with images as he spoke. In 50 years, we transformed Mars, from a dead world to a garden. The display showed green valleys and blue lakes on the red planet. In 100 years, we built ships that can cross the galaxy. The screen shifted to show Earth's growing fleet. And when the Krell pirates attacked the Rigel colony, we didn't just defend ourselves, we wiped them out completely. Now the display showed the aftermath of the Rigel campaign, the destroyed pirate vessels drifting in space. The slug-like Traxian representative oozed disapproval. Precisely our concern. Your species is dangerously unpredictable. Carter laughed, but there was no humor in it. We defended innocent people. Would you have preferred we let them die? The Galactic Council would have eventually sent peacekeepers, said Mulra, the four-armed diplomat from Centauri Prime. Eventually, Bradley said, speaking for the first time. After how many more deaths? The tension in the room grew. Carter could feel it like electricity in the air. Ambassador Zakatal hissed through sharp teeth. The human delegation's demands are still unreasonable. Your species has barely mastered faster-than-light travel, yet you demand equal voting rights? Susan, Bradley placed a warning hand on Carter's arm. Too late. 3 years of patience had run out. For the last time, Carter said, his voice dangerously quiet, we will not accept second-class status in this council. Humanity has demonstrated our technological advancements, our resilience, and our capacity for both diplomacy and warfare. We have met every criterion for full membership, perhaps in a century or two, chittered the insect-like Ardelian representative, waving a dismissive pincer in the air. The room fell silent. Even the translators seemed to hold their digital breath. Carter looked at each alien face slowly. Let me be very clear about what happens next. Earth and all human colonies will withdraw from all agreements with council races. Our borders will close. Our ships will turn back any council vessels. We will develop our technology without your oversight or input. You cannot survive alone, said Zakatal, his frill pulsing with color. Actually, we can, Bradley said, standing to join Carter. We've run the numbers. Earth's economy will take a 15% hit for 2 years, then recover completely by year 5. We have all the resources we need within our current territory. And what about protection? Asked Mulra. The galaxy is dangerous. Carter smiled. It wasn't a friendly smile. As the Krell discovered, we're quite good at protecting ourselves. The room erupted in angry shouts and threats. The translators struggled to keep up with the multiple alien languages. You risk war, shouted Zikatal. Carter gathered his data tablets calmly. No, Ambassador. You risk war. Earth wants peace. Earth wants trade. Earth wants friendship. But Earth will not beg for what it deserves. He nodded to Bradley and the rest of the human team. They all stood and moved toward the door. Wait, called Mulra. Perhaps we can find a compromise. We've spent 3 years looking for one, Carter said, not turning around. You've had your chance. The massive doors slid open with a soft hiss. Carter turned one last time to face the council. Humanity withdraws from these negotiations. You have 48 hours to remove your ships and diplomats from our territory. After that, any council vessel in human space will be considered hostile. The chamber descended into chaos as the human delegation walked out. Susan Bradley fell into step beside Carter. "Think they'll take us seriously now?" she asked quietly. Carter didn't answer immediately. They walked in silence down the gleaming corridor toward the human shuttle bay. He watched the stars through the windows they passed. Finally, he spoke. They thought they were dealing with children who would accept whatever scraps they offered. They're about to learn that humanity doesn't beg, humanity doesn't yield, and, if challenged, humanity doesn't lose. Behind them, the doors to the council chamber had failed to close properly. Through the gap, they could hear the panicked voices of the most powerful beings in the galaxy as they realized they had miscalculated badly. The first shockwave of human defiance was already spreading. Soon, the entire galaxy would feel it. The Earth Defense Command headquarters sat deep under the Rocky Mountains. Built to survive even the worst attacks, its walls were 50 meters of solid rock lined with energy-absorbing materials. In the main control room, screens covered every wall, showing the positions of ships, troops, and aliens across known space. Council Representative Alan Ward paced back and forth in front of the largest screen. A tall man with dark skin and graying hair at his temples, Ward had spent 20 years in Earth's diplomatic corps. He knew trouble when he saw it. The message on his tablet made his stomach sink. "They're really doing it," he muttered. Linda Morgan looked up from her station. Morgan ran the intelligence division, and with her sharp eyes and sharper mind, she rarely missed anything important. "Doing what?" she asked. Ward handed her the tablet. "It's from Admiral Jones. Earth Central Command has activated Protocol Midnight." Morgan's eyes widened. "Already? It's only been 2 weeks since Carter walked out of the talks." "Central Command isn't waiting for the Council to respond. They're preparing for the worst." Morgan pulled up the details on her screen. Charts, maps, and orders filled the display. "Full defensive posture across all colonies," she read. The eye. "Shipyards on Mars shifting to military vessels. The mines on Europa digging for metal to make weapons." She gave a low whistle. "They think the Council might actually attack us?" Ward nodded, his face grim. "They think the Council might try to make an example of us. Show the younger species what happens when you don't play by their rules." The main screen changed to show a map of human space. Small blue dots representing human ships moved into defensive formations around Earth, Mars, and the outer colonies. Red triangles showed the last known positions of Council vessels. "Look at this," Morgan said, pointing to another screen. "Intercepted messages between Council races." Ward leaned closer to read. "The Valerians are spreading rumors that we're planning to expand into disputed space." His jaw tightened. "That's a lie. We've never claimed those regions." "Classic trick," Morgan said, brushing a strand of blonde hair from her face. "They push us, then tell everyone we're the dangerous ones." Ward tapped a command into the system. New information appeared. "Our spies and Council space report increased ship movements. The Valerians have called up their reserves. The Ardelians are moving their battle groups closer to our borders." "Do you think they'll really attack?" Morgan asked, her voice quieter now. Ward didn't answer right away. He walked to the window that looked out over the command floor, where dozens of officers monitored Earth's defenses. They worked calmly, professionally, but he could sense their tension. "The Council has ruled the galaxy for thousands of years," he said finally. "They're not used to being challenged, especially by a young species like us." When Carter walked out, he hurt their pride. "And wounded pride can be dangerous," Morgan finished. "Exactly." Morgan pulled up production reports from across human space. "The good news is that we're stronger than they think. Our fabricators on Luna are producing a new ship every 3 days. The power plants on Titan are running at full capacity. The defense grid around Earth can stop almost anything." "Almost," Ward noted. The door slid open. Jack Rivera, Ward's assistant, rushed in with another tablet. Sir, you need to see this, Rivera said, slightly out of breath. We just intercepted a Valerian battle plan. They're considering a strike against our colony on Proxima Centauri. Ward's face hardened. He touched a button on his desk. Get me Admiral Jones, he ordered, and then connect me to all colony governors, security level Alpha. What are you going to tell them? Morgan asked. The truth. That we hope for peace but must prepare for war. Ward's eyes turned back to the map, where more red triangles had appeared near human space. And that if the Council throws the first punch, they'll regret it. Rivera worked at his console, establishing the connections. What about Ambassador Carter? Should we recall him from Luna? No, Ward said. Keep him where he is. The Council thinks he acted on emotion, storming out of the talks. They don't realize it was part of our strategy. Morgan raised an eyebrow. Strategy? A small smile crossed Ward's face. Carter showed them that humans won't be pushed around. Now we show them what happens when humans push back. The screens lit up as colony governors joined the call. Their faces showed concern but not fear. Ladies and gentlemen, Ward began, Earth faces its greatest challenge since the Krell War. But we've been preparing for this day. Activating defense protocols across all colonies, mobilizing the fleet, bringing our weapons online. He paused, looking at each governor in turn. We stand together, we fight together, and if war comes, we win together. As the governors nodded, their agreement, alarms suddenly blared across the command center. A large red indicator appeared on the main screen. Proximity alert, called out an officer. Multiple unidentified vessels have just jumped into the Sol system. Ward and Morgan exchanged looks. The test of humanity had begun. The grand chamber of the Galactic Council stretched nearly 1 kilometer across. Built from gleaming white stone and crystal mined from 100 worlds, it had hosted meetings for over 4,000 years. Today, it held chaos. High Chancellor Vexorn, leader of the Council, stood on the central platform. His 4 arms were raised, all 6 eyes blinking in frustration as he tried to restore order. His gray skin had turned almost white with stress. Silence. His amplified voice finally cut through the noise. We will have order in this chamber. The 200 alien representatives gradually quieted. Some sat in chairs. Others floated in bubbles of liquid. A few existed as holograms, their real bodies, too large or dangerous to bring to the chamber. We face a crisis, Vexorn continued. The humans have not only walked away from our negotiations but are now preparing for war. Ambassador Zikital of the Valerian Dominion slithered forward. His blue scales caught the light and his neck frill extended fully. Chancellor, this proves what the Valerians have said all along. Humans are dangerous. They cannot be trusted. Zikital's voice dripped with false concern. Our scouts report their shipyards working day and night. Their colonies have activated defense shields. Their communications are filled with military codes. The chamber erupted again, voices crying out in 100 languages. Will they attack us? Should we strike first? Are our worlds safe? Vexorn raised his hands again. Please, panic solves nothing. From the back of the vast chamber, a small figure moved forward. The crowd parted respectfully. Elder Mokhtar of the Chthon race was ancient even by the standards of the galaxy's oldest species. His skin was wrinkled and gray, his movements slow, but his eyes were sharp and bright. Chancellor. Mokhtar's voice was surprisingly strong. May I speak? Vexorn nodded. Of course, Elder. Your wisdom is always welcome. Mokhtar climbed slowly to the central platform. He looked around the chamber, studying the faces of the representatives. I have watched many species join our galactic community, he began. Some came in peace, others came in fear, a few came in war, but humans. He paused. Humans are different. Different how? Demanded Zikital. Most species evolve in stable environments, Mokhtar explained. Their worlds change slowly, they have time to adapt. Humans evolved on a death world. A murmur ran through the crowd. Earth has extreme weather, active volcanoes, earthquakes, diseases, predators, and natural disasters. Humans competed with other intelligent species for control of their world, and won. They survived ice ages and meteor impacts. They fought countless wars against each other. The Elder's eyes swept the room. And yet they did not destroy themselves. Instead, they united and reached for the stars. Zekatal made a dismissive gesture. "What is your point, Elder?" "My point, Ambassador," Mokhtar said coldly, "is that the Council has made a terrible mistake. We have treated humans like we treat every young species. We expected them to accept our authority without question, to be grateful for our guidance." He pointed a bony finger at Zekatal. "But humans do not respond to condescension or threats the way other species do. When threatened, they do not surrender. They prepare to fight." The Chancellor's upper eyes blinked in concern. "Are you suggesting the humans might actually go to war with the entire Council?" "I am suggesting," Mokhtar said, "that humans would rather die fighting than live on their knees, and based on their history, they are alarmingly good at fighting." A holographic display appeared in the center of the chamber, showing reports from across Council space. "Our intelligence confirms the Elder's concerns," said a tall, thin alien with tentacles where a human would have arms. "Human military production has increased by 700% in the last 2 weeks. Their ships are deploying along their borders, and our probes have detected massive energy readings from their colonies." "New weapons?" Vexorn asked. "Unknown, but the power levels exceed anything we've seen from them before." Zekatal's frill pulsed with colors. "Then we must strike now before they are fully prepared." "That," said Mokhtar sharply, "would be your second mistake. Possibly your last." "We outnumber them 100 to 1, Zekatal argued. "Numbers mean nothing if their technology surpasses ours," Mokhtar countered. "And humans have proven remarkably adaptive." The room fell silent as the implications sank in. "What do you suggest, Elder?" Vexorn finally asked. "Send a diplomatic mission to Earth. Apologize for our arrogance. Offer them the full membership they deserve," Zekatal hissed in outrage. "Apologize to a young species that threatens us? Never." "Then perhaps we should test their resolve," said a new voice. It belonged to Commander Drex of the Valerian military. "We have 15 warships near their colony in the Arcturus system. Let us see how these humans respond to a show of force." Before anyone could object, Drex activated his communicator. "Fleet Commander Zex, this is command. Proceed with Operation Dominance." Vexorn's face darkened with anger. "You had no authority to give that order." "The safety of the Council comes first," Drex replied calmly. "Once the humans see our superior strength, they will return to negotiations." "Elder," Mokhtar shook his head sadly. "You fools. You've just started a war you may not be able to finish." Across the chamber, the holographic displays suddenly flashed red. Emergency signals came in from a dozen sources. "Chancellor," called a communications officer. "We've lost contact with the Arcturus fleet." The chamber descended into stunned silence. "All 15 ships?" Vexorn whispered. "Yes, Chancellor. Their final transmission reported facing just 6 human vessels." Mokhtar looked at the shocked faces around him. "And now," he said quietly, "you begin to understand what you've awakened." Captain Nicole Reynolds stood on the bridge of the Earth vessel Defiant. The ship hummed with power around her, its sleek design hiding weapons that could melt mountains. Through the main viewport, Reynolds watched the stars. Somewhere out there, Council ships were approaching. Her short brown hair was pulled back tightly, her green eyes focused on the tactical display. "Status report," she ordered. First Officer Greg Harris responded immediately. He was a tall man with broad shoulders and a calm voice. 6 ships in position, Captain. Shield systems at full power. Weapons hot. Scout drones report 15 Council vessels approaching the edge of Arcturus space." Reynolds nodded. Arcturus was humanity's second oldest colony, home to nearly 4 million people. Earth would not abandon them. "Mostly Valerian designs," added Paula Martinez, the tactical officer. Her fingers danced across her screen. Their weapons are charging, but they're still outside firing range. Reynolds tapped her chair's control panel. All captains, this is Reynolds. Form defense pattern Echo. Remember your training. These aliens think we're easy prey. Let's educate them. The 6 human ships moved into a new formation, spreading out, to create a web of overlapping fire zones. Communication from the Valerian fleet, Captain, said Lieutenant Daniel Scott from the communication station. Put it through, Reynolds said. A holographic image appeared at the front of the bridge. It showed a Valerian officer, his blue scales shining under the lights of his own bridge. His neck frill extended with the bright colors of aggression. Human vessel, this is Commander Zex of the Valerian Dominion, the alien said. You are approaching restricted space. The Galactic Council has declared this sector under protective quarantine. Withdraw immediately. Reynolds smiled thinly. Commander, this is Captain Nicole Reynolds of the Earth Defense Force vessel Defiant. I believe there's been a mistake. This is human space. Has been for 30 years. The Arcturus colony holds 4 million Earth citizens. If anyone should be withdrawing, it's you. Zex's frill rippled with anger. Human, you misunderstand the situation. The Council has authorized us to conduct security operations in this sector. Your presence is unnecessary and provocative. Security operations? Reynolds raised an eyebrow. 15 warships for a security operation? That's quite a show of force for simple security. We have our orders, Zex replied. Withdraw now, or we will be forced to take action. Reynolds leaned forward. Commander, you've brought 15 warships to our border. If anyone is being provocative, it's you. We have the authority of the Galactic Council. The same council that refused to treat us as equals? Reynolds cut him off. The same council that has been trying to limit our growth and development? That council has no authority in human space. The bridge fell silent. Reynolds could feel her crew watching her. This moment could determine the future of human-alien relations for centuries to come. You are outnumbered, Captain, Zex finally said. Your 6 vessels cannot hope to stand against our fleet. If you were wise, you would withdraw and allow us to complete our mission. Reynolds nodded to Martinez. Power up the Helios array. Martinez pressed a sequence of controls. Deep within the Defiant, a new system came online. Energy readings spiked across the ship. The lights dimmed briefly as power was diverted. Zex's face changed. His frill flattened against his neck. What is that weapon? He demanded. Our sensors detect a massive power buildup. Something we developed after studying ancient technology found in the Epsilon Eridani system, Reynolds replied calmly. Would you like a demonstration? She nodded again, and Martinez targeted an uninhabited asteroid at the edge of the system. The tactical officer's finger hovered over the firing control. Helios array charged and ready, Captain, Martinez reported. Fire, Reynolds ordered. A beam of blinding white energy lanced out from the Defiant. It struck the asteroid, which was nearly a kilometer across. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then the entire asteroid glowed white. It cracked, shattered, and finally dissolved into superheated plasma. On the view screen, Commander Zex's mouth hung open. Other Valerians could be seen in the background, their frills flattened in fear. That, Reynolds said into the stunned silence, was at 20% capacity. She stood, straightening her uniform. Now, Commander, would you like to reconsider your mission parameters? Zex didn't respond immediately. He seemed to be consulting with someone off-screen. When he turned back, his scales had darkened. A Valerian sign of anger or fear. Human xenologists weren't quite sure which. This demonstration changes nothing, Zex finally said. The Council has ordered us to secure this system, and we will do so. Prepare to be boarded or destroyed. Reynolds shook her head. I'm sorry to hear that, Commander. She turned to her communications officer. Lieutenant Scott, send the signal to the rest of the fleet. Signal sent, Captain, Scott confirmed. Suddenly, the space around the Arcturus colony lit up as 20 more human ships dropped out of hyperspace. They had been hiding in the shadow of the system's gas giant, waiting for Reynolds' signal. You. See, Commander, Reynolds said. You're not the only one who can plan an ambush. The difference is we were hoping we wouldn't need ours. Zex's frill flared in alarm. Impossible. Our intelligence said you only had 6 ships in this sector. Your intelligence was wrong, Reynolds replied. Now I'll give you one chance to leave human space peacefully. The next communication from this ship will be weapons fire. On the tactical display, 15 red dots representing the Valerian ships hung motionless for several seconds. Then, one by one, they began to turn. They're retreating, Captain, Martinez reported, unable to keep a note of triumph from her voice. Should we pursue? Asked Harris. Reynolds shook her head. No. Let them go. Let them tell the Council what they saw here today. As the Valerian ships vanished into hyperspace, Reynolds stared out at the stars. Send a message to Earth Command, she said quietly. Tell them the Valerians blinked first. 1 month after the standoff at Arcturus, Earth prepared for a historic meeting. In Washington, D.C., workers built a special circular building called the Hall of Reconciliation. Its roof was clear glass so visitors could see Earth's blue sky. William. Carter looked out the window as alien ships landed. Some were smooth and silver. Others looked like giant insects. A few glowed with strange lights. All carried important visitors from the Galactic Council. Nervous? Asked Susan Bradley, standing beside him. Carter smiled. A little. It's not every day you change the course of galactic history. You already did that when you walked out of their meeting, Bradley reminded him. The aliens entered the hall. There were beings with tentacles, wings, multiple eyes, and even a few that floated in protective bubbles. Carter recognized High Chancellor Vexorn and Ambassador Ziktal among them. The Valerian's neck frill was flat now, showing submission rather than aggression. Elder Mokhtar of the Kethon race approached Carter. The ancient alien moved slowly, using a floating chair to support his frail body. Ambassador Carter, Mokhtar said, it seems my warnings to the Council were correct, but not strong enough. How so? Carter asked. I warned them that humans were dangerous when threatened, the elder said. But I failed to understand how quickly your species can adapt and grow. Your Helios weapon surprised even me. At that moment, President Olivia Bennett entered the room. A tall woman with dark skin and silver hair. She moved with confidence as she took her place at the center of the hall. The room fell silent. Distinguished delegates of the Galactic Council, Bennett began. Today marks a turning point not just for humanity, but for all spacefaring civilizations. She looked around the room, meeting alien eyes without fear. When our ambassador left your talks, it wasn't because we wanted to be alone or to fight. It was because true cooperation can only happen between equals. Ambassador Ziktal shifted, uncomfortably, but remained silent. The recent tension between us has shown that the old way the Council worked is finished, Bennett continued. Today we offer a new way forward, one based on respect and recognizing each species' rights. She gestured to a holographic display that appeared above the center of the room. It showed a new structure for the Council, with both older and younger species having equal voices. The Helios technology that impressed your ships is just one of many advancements we've made, Bennett said, but we don't want to keep such discoveries to ourselves. We propose a new exchange program, sharing knowledge rather than hoarding it. As she explained the details, Carter noticed Elder Mokhtar, watching with what seemed like amusement. Something funny, Elder? He asked quietly. Not funny, Ambassador. Ironic. The ancient alien's eyes twinkled. For thousands of years, the older races controlled the younger ones. Yet in less than a century, your species has changed everything. Through threats? Carter asked with concern. No. Mokhtar shook his head. Through courage. You showed what humans can do when pushed too far, but now you offer friendship instead of control. That is why your species may save the Council from itself. As the aliens began to sign the new treaty, Carter realized the elder was right. Humanity had stood its ground and won not just respect but a chance to build a better galaxy for everyone.